Hey, proud to have with us now on the MARR Rock Show an old friend of ours and a musician who's involved in like a million things, Josh Waterman. Josh, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, man, like, I don't even know where to start with you. We just caught up with you up at Winterfest in Hagerstown, and surprised to honestly see you there because all of our listeners
opened up for us while we were on tour. One of our first tours with Pop Evil. So I've known those guys for a while. They've been good friends of mine, and right. So I packed up and I left, and I toured with them for 5 weeks, and now I'm going back out. I'm going back out with them. They're a good bunch of guys.
So tell me, how long, because, I mean, I know we've seen you play before. I know you're a great musician, but how long does it take you? You said you got 3 days. How long does it take you to feel comfortable on stage on tour with those guys?
Well, it was very funny you say that because he called me on Tuesday. I left on Friday. The first show was Saturday, and I kind of got to Charlotte, and I asked him, I was like, hey, Clinton, gonna get practice? He's like, yeah, about that. So just kind of threw me right up on stage and said, hey, have at it. So I really didn't have much time to practice, but I mean, I was relatively familiar with their music as it is, and I had also learned one or two of their songs anyway because I like to play with other bands when they come into town. So hey, if they ask if if I want to play, or if I want to play, then I have a song in my arsenal, but. The learning curve was pretty quick, and it just kind of went from there.
So are they kind of weird, like, language, cultural barriers when a guy from Boston goes and jumps on tour with a group from North Carolina?
Yes, the language barrier is quite different. I constantly, since I am the odd man out, I'm the one that usually gets ganged up on. Tour, we usually are mixing up words. They're forgetting to say their R's. And I am talking in like a southern accent.
You just land down here in Pennsylvania. You might develop a Philly accent, man.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Is we land somewhere in the middle, but unfortunately, even people from Pennsylvania probably wouldn't understand the language that we were speaking at that point, because I don't even think we understood the language that we were speaking at that point.
So, hey, tell me a little bit about, I was curious when we talked to you the other night. So, what's the difference, is there a cultural difference in the van between Another Lost Year and Lansdowne when you guys are out together?
That is an interesting question to answer. Yes, it is very, very different, because the one main thing, I mean, Lansdowne, they're my brothers, I love them, but the one main thing that differs Lansdowne from most other bands is that Lansdowne, we are a business. We act like a business. We're very professional in that. And yeah, we let loose and we party, but we use the time that we are, down when we're driving and all that to do business and do work like that. So it's very formal.
Man, that's a cool insight, and I think having known both bands, it's really interesting to hear you talk about that now. Hey, so some good news. First of all, tell me what's going on in the Lansdowne camp now. I'm a huge fan of No Home But the Road. It was one of my favorite albums of the year. Believe me when I say that to you, not just because I know you. I really love those tunes. What's going on with Lansdowne these days?
Well, Lansdowne, No Home But the Road was kind of our shifting point. It was our last album to kind of just do exactly what we wanted to do before we kind of threw ourselves into a part of the music industry that is much more critical with exactly what you play and exactly what comes out. Lansdowne, we're on obviously a little bit of a hiatus, the second child. So
oh wow,
got that going on, yeah. Yep. So him and Melissa are just getting ready for that, and Glenn able to come along, because when you switch into a new genre, it definitely puts a mark on a band that we got to go out and do it right, because if we come into a category of music that we're not used to and we don't do it right, then it's going to ruin our career. Sure. So we're just taking our steps very carefully. We're planning everything very carefully, and that's basically it. So we're writing, and it's giving me, time to, go do other musical options with, say, just touring with Never Lost Year because they're my friends and they need help. With the other music stuff that I've been doing, which you'll probably be asking me about here in a couple of minutes. and yeah, I mean, we're, when we get back together, it's going to be good. It's going to be big. And, you guys will definitely be one of the first ones to hear what's going on.
And then we've been huge fans of Lansdowne since the first time we met you guys. And it's interesting. I think we actually met you when you were touring with another.
I woke up and I went on Facebook, and it was the first thing in my news feed. As just a touring member, I really don't know much of the inner workings, what goes on while I'm not on the road. I just kind of, they say, hey, this is where we're touring, and this is what we're doing, and this is, if you want to be part of it, you can. I say, okay, let's do this. But I talked to Adam. Adam was the same way. Adam didn't know that we were actually confirmed on the bill until he saw the flyer as well. So very exciting for all of us. I think by noontime I had talked to every single one of the guys, and just called and just to express my excitement of how awesome that lineup is. I mean, that lineup is truly, truly incredible.
And I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this, and I've said this on the air. You know how many shows we go to. You know how many festivals we go to and cruises. Honest to goodness, and we talk about that is probably our favorite event of the entire year. We travel 9 hours, more than that. We fly to get out there. That is a great, great festival. You're going to love it out there.
I just hope that we have more than just one day in. I hope that, that when we're doing the booking on this, that we can stay for at least, 2 or 3 of the days, because all those bands are going to be spread out into 4 days. And it's like, I'm just thinking, what bands am I not going to be able to see because we have to go out to another show the next day?
Yeah, and that festival, I mean, bar none, man, of everywhere we go, I mean, they do it right. It's long sets from bands. I can't gush. In addition to Lansdowne and some touring with Another Lost Year, what else are you working on? If that's not enough.
Well, as most of recently over the past couple of months, the band Prospect Hill, they're also from Boston. They decided to part ways with their singer Adam. And Adam is me and Mike played with a gentleman called Brian Chevalier, a.k.a. Washburn. People will get to know him. And he is probably one of the most incredible guitar players I've ever shared the stage with. And he's also the first person I've ever jammed with when I was 13. I've known him for a very long time. And the 5 of us are getting together and writing great, great rock music. Some of it's hard, some of it's soft. Where basically there's no limits with us. There's nothing that we're writing that says, we can't do that. Because we're not writing for the critics. We're not writing for the radio. We're not writing for anybody but ourselves and what we think is good music. And that is very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you've assembled a great crew there with that group. I mean, like you said, kind of a widespread family, but a small family of really great musicians. I can't wait to hear what you guys come out with. And I love watching the interaction with all those bands that you've named that we've loved with Prospect Hill and with Another Lost Year with Lansdowne. I just can't wait to see what comes up.
Our other guitar player was it, so it's good after 5 years being able to write music with our friends, our family that we got used to writing with. But actually, we're just in discussions, and we're going to be going in to record our very first single. So he will be he'll be recording our first single, and hopefully, I'm hoping by early summer and end of May, beginning of June, that you guys will be able to get your first real good taste of what we're doing.
Well, I can't wait for that, man. And you got to send a copy this way. We'll be playing that thing on the show here because I am dying to hear what you guys come out with. So, hey, keep Mike safe off of the roofs up there, man. I know you guys have had a whole
down. I know I've been doing it too. I know people they're gonna put me on the cross burn me on the cross for this, but there's so much snow to be had, and as a struggling musician to to pass up on that much money. I'm doing low risk stuff. Small roofs. If I fall off the roof, I'm gonna fall 3 feet into a 6-foot snow pile. So.
Yeah, keep Mike off his tall ones, because, I mean, he looked like
so.
Well, Josh Waterman, everybody. Josh from Lansdowne, from a project yet to be named, I guess we would say. And
yeah, I hope so, too. I do know that we're working on a couple of tours. Not really at liberty to say with who or what we're working on, but I'm almost positive that it will bring us to Hagerstown or to the Maryland area somewhat soon, and definitely before Rockfest. I mean, that's all the way in July, so you'll be seeing my smiling face sometime before then. I can almost guarantee it.
Josh Waterman, everybody. Josh, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for having me.